Do we have too much government? Particularly during COVID. We have governments now who are sending out drones in other countries to see whether, in fact, you are wearing your mask. Well, who better to ask for that than Ezra Levant, who's joining me right now in secret on top of the George Restaurant in Toronto. Ezra, welcome to the show. And, well, you heard it. Do we have an Orwellian government that is infringing upon the privacy of citizens?
Yes, we do. And I think the pandemic has made people more compliant and submissive, partly out of fear, partly out of confusion, and, well, we better trust the authorities. But I think the authorities have gotten so many things wrong. Masks are good, masks are bad, close the borders, don't close the borders, China's lying, China's telling the truth. I think a lot of, there are some skeptics, but most people are just so worried they're going along with it. But here's the thing about Orwellian plans in the year 2020. They're outsourced to the big tech companies, to your phone. In the olden days, you had to plant a listening device on someone or a bug on someone. Now, everyone's carrying their listening device. So your app is tracking where you go, who you talk to, what you say, what you surf.
And somebody is taking that data down and giving it to somebody else.
Well, and if you have TikTok on your phone, which is the #2 most downloaded app in the world right now, it's not just someone in Canada who might be looking, the Chinese government might be looking too.
So throughout history, when governments have crises, they grab power and they rarely give it back. The Income Tax Act in Canada in 1917 was temporary until they found out that it made a lot of money. So what's to happen to Canadians? Should they fight back? Should they demand that government, when this is all over, give them back the powers and the privacy?
Well, I want to say something that's a little controversial. I think it is all over. I think if you look at the cases, the peak of the pandemic was mid-April.
Right.
And not only are the hospitalizations falling, but the deaths have plummeted, thank God. It's about on par with the average flu season. So the fact that we're only seeing the mask bylaws now says, well, why are we ramping up government control when the pandemic has, thank God, largely passed? And even when it was here, it was a pandemic of seniors' homes. The average age of someone who died was in the mid-80s.
So what is a Canadian to do? Because governments have grabbed all that power. They have thwarted freedom. Are we going to get it back? Should Canadians demand it back?
It's hard because the way that these impositions are being enforced are through other citizens. A shop, a coffee shop, a teacher. And you don't want to fight against your coffee barista or your teacher when they're just following the rules. What's so pernicious about this Orwellian state is that it's not the policeman that's enforcing it. Every person on the street, from a cab driver to a restaurateur, has been turned into a cop. And that's what makes it, you don't want to fight the world, you want to fight the neighbors, but that's what's happened here.
Okay, 3 minutes. Ezra Levant, pleasure, thank you. Thank you for watching. We are going to continue to broadcast from the secret bar here on top of the George Restaurant courtyards on Queen Street East in Toronto. In these days, where politicians are spending a lot of your money, Parliament's not sitting, it's important to have an independent news source. That's what we are doing. We hope you subscribe.